Welcome back, everyone. For this month, we're checking out The Lord of the Rings: The Battle for Middle-earth. Released in 2004, this real-time strategy game was published by EA and developed by EA Los Angeles, makers of the Medal of Honor series, and 2 Command & Conquer games. The studio was later renamed Danger Close Games. If you don't remember who they were, well, they only developed Command & Conquer 4, Medal of Honor, and Warfighter. Since none of those games did well, EA shut them down and moved some of the staff to DICE LA, now called Ripple Effect Studios. This game did get a sequel in March of 2006, then released an expansion pack in November of 2006, called The Lord of the Rings: The Battle for Middle-earth 2: The Rise of the Witch King. Yeah, it's up there for longest video game title. Biff Me is still a fun and unique RTS game. There's 2 campaigns to play through, as good or evil, and there's a skirmish mode to play on all the maps against the AI, or set up a LAN party. The official servers were shut down after the licensing deal expired. However, there is Game Ranger that hosts servers if you want to play with other players. As usual, we're going to go through the story, so spoiler warning, what I liked and disliked, and any funny or awkward moments that happened to me during my playthrough. Let's go conquer Middle-earth.
Fools.
First, we need to talk about getting this game to work. Just like Black and White, you can't buy this game on any online store. You can still buy disc copies, but they will be pricey. Luckily, I have a disc copy, but the strangest thing happened. I installed it, then launched it, and it worked. I thought, great, I'll start playing it that Saturday. The day came, and when I launched it, I got an error message. So I tried uninstalling it, then reinstalling it, but nope. Still did not work. So I had to look up some guides and eventually found out there's a missing options.ini file. So if you have the same issue, you need to open up a notepad, copy and paste this, I'll have it in the description. However, make sure you put the correct resolution. Then go to %appdata% and find the Battle for Middle-earth file to put the options.ini into. This seemed to fix it, and I was able to launch the game every time without issue. Next thing I want to talk about is more of a fun Easter egg. The intro to the game gives you the prologue from the first Lord of the Rings movie, but it's using the video game engine to tell it. The best part is Ian McKellen, who played Gandalf in the films, does the narration here.
Into this ring he poured his cruelty, his malice, and his will to dominate all life.
Ian was supposed to do the narration for the film, but it went to Cate Blanchett, who played Galadriel. There are a few cast members that got to voice their characters for the game. Elijah Wood, Sean Astin, Dominic Monaghan, Billy Boyd, Andy Serkis, John Rhys Davies, Christopher Lee, and Ian McKellen. The other actors I thought did a wonderful job and had me wondering at times if that was the original actor or not.
We must move. We cannot linger. This is no mine. It is a tomb.
There is a tutorial, but Logain from Dragon Age talks you through everything you need to know about the game.
In the battle for Middle-earth, it is your goal to defeat the forces of the enemy, capture their lands, and destroy their castles.
However, you can skip it because gameplay is straightforward. You start out with a base and have building plots that you can decide what gets built. You'll first build structures like farms or slaughterhouses to get resources. Use these resources to construct production buildings to build an army. You'll have general units like infantry, archers, spearmen, and cavalry. There are special units like creatures, siege units, and heroes to play with. The gameplay loop follows a kind of rock, paper, scissors game style. Infantry beat spearmen, cavalry beat infantry, spearmen beat cavalry. Archers are always good for extra support, but are weak in melee combat. They do become important when upgraded with fire arrows for taking out creatures like Nazgul and Mumakil. Hero units are great, but some are better than others. Gandalf is probably the most powerful. The objective is simple. Destroy all of your enemies' camps to win. During the campaign, the units you make will carry over and stay in your army as long as they survive. At the start of my first campaign, I tried renaming some of my forces, but I got them all killed at some point. So I renamed them again. But, spoiler alert, the last mission, everyone died. Sorry guys. It's always a good idea to keep your units alive, obviously, because they will rank up and deal more damage, take less damage, and will slowly heal themselves when out of combat. When heroes rank up, they get new abilities. Some can be activated, or they're a passive power to make the units near them stronger. Depending on the map, the forces of good might get a castle. The forces of evil never get walls. It's just a siege camp. You'll notice by now Gondor and Rohan have battalions of 5 units, while Isengard and Mordor get 10. I'm sure this was to create the feeling of the forces of good are outnumbered, which means you need to use careful tactics and use your castle for protection, while the forces of evil get equipment to siege the castle, like battering rams, ladders, and catapults. There is also structures for unlocking upgrades. Some require the building to be of at least rank 2, so you'll need to build a couple of units first to level up the building. In all the factions, except Mordor, there is an armor upgrade and a melee upgrade. Obviously, upgrading the armor makes them harder to kill, and you'll know that by the shiny gold plating. Then the melee weapon, obviously, increases their damage, and you'll know by the shiny blue or red glow from their weapons. All factions can get the fire arrow upgrade, which deals a lot more damage from archers. There's also the banner upgrade, which ranks up a battalion to rank 2. This is a big deal because when out of combat they will heal and replenish their numbers. You can also get a discount if you have more of the same building. For example, blacksmiths will decrease the cost of upgrades. This upgrade discount maxes out at 6 buildings. Now, I'm no expert in terms of balancing, but I never felt like any one faction was overpowered. I had fun with Mordor because they felt like a swarm faction. Just keep pumping out units and send them at the enemy until they're dead. While Gondor felt more well-rounded. Rohan had weak infantry, but had so many heroes that all you need was archers and cavalry to support them. Isengard felt like it had the strongest units, but are so expensive, losing them may cost you the game. The forces of good have some special buildings like wells for quickly healing and statues for buffing nearby units. The forces of evil don't have that, so sometimes it's just best to throw away units to die so I can get a fresh squad. Let's talk about the campaigns for a moment. The good campaign loosely follows the movies. For example, in the very first mission, Gandalf kills the Balrog and rejoins the Fellowship. You can also say Boromir, who will be there for the Battle of Helm's Deep, Minas Tirith, and even the Black Gate. I'm okay with this. Sure, it's not 100% like the films, but it's a fun what-if scenario. In between these memorable battles from the films, you move around your Rohan army, and later a Gondor army to take over territories until the next mandatory battle. You do have a choice of what territories to attack next, and get to see the reward you get for taking it. Your rewards are increasing your unit cap up to a max of 300 for good and 600 for evil. The next one is increase the amount of resources you can get up to a max of 3.5 times. Finally, you can get a power point. No, not that one. The forces of good have passive powers to make your heroes stronger, like Gandalf the White, and Aragorn's sword to deal 100% more damage and glow blue?
What is this? Is that blue? Is that blue? This is blue?
There's also powers like healing, buffing an area on the map, and calling in temporary units like elves, Rohirrim, or even the Army of the Dead. The forces of evil have a couple of powers to get more resources, temporary power boosts, or summon the Balrog for a short time. These powers are strong, but go on a long cooldown. However, they can change the tide of any battle. After Minas Tirith, you can go and do the Black Gate to end the campaign, or you could also keep taking over more territory to make you stronger. The Evil campaign has you slowly conquering Middle-earth, and has the same format, but the missions play out a little different. You start as Isengard and slowly conquer Rohan. Then you can use Mordor to eventually conquer Minas Tirith to end the campaign. Skirmish mode is a lot of fun. You can pick to fight 1v1, 2v2, 3v3, or even 4v4. Maybe even mix it up and have 3v5 or 1v7. I played on hard and it's a fun challenge. It might feel impossible, but if you focus and macro your base well, then micro your units and keep them alive as much as possible, you can beat the hard AI bots. You get less powers in skirmish, but they will still help turn the tide around should you feel hopeless. Like in this skirmish game, I had so many moments where I thought I was going to die. But these powers helped me push the enemy back, despite the enemy sometimes summoning the Balrog to set me back as well. So back and forth the battle would go, until eventually pushing him back and getting the victory. I tried a 4v4 game, and even though you don't get to command nearly as many units, It's still chaotic and so much fun. I'm sure there's a way to increase this, but I bet the reason is because the game can't handle too many units on one map. Alright, let's go through the good campaign. We start off with a map of Middle-earth. Then Gandalf tells us how Sauron must be defeated or all will fall into darkness.
The hobbit Frodo Baggins now bears the ring, guarded by a fellowship drawn from all the free peoples of Middle-earth. The One Ring must be returned to Mount Doom.
The first mission is the Mines of Moria. Side note, when I played this game back in 2004, my PC could barely run it. Seriously, these loading screens took between 15 to 30 minutes to load. Even when playing the game, some maps like Helm's Deep and Minas Tirith had so many units on the map it felt like I was getting maybe 5 frames per second. So it's great to see the loading times are only a minute now. Anyway, you control the Fellowship through Moria attacking goblins. There are some little treasures that will level up your heroes, so feel free to give it to just one hero, or spread it amongst the entire party. The map is simple and linear, just follow the path, but there are a couple optional paths to get a few extra treasures. I played on normal difficulty and had to keep an eye on some of my heroes to keep them alive. Aragorn does have a heal ability, but I can use my heal power. Gandalf has the Force Push ability. There are some bonus objectives, like get all the heroes to level 2. I think it's just for bonus points, so don't feel compelled to do all these bonus missions. Some bonus missions can teach you more about the game, such as formations for your units. Continue on and eventually you get to the Balrog. It's super easy, just have Gandalf use his lightning ability, then run around until it comes off cooldown, and use it over and over again.
The Balrog of Moria is no more.
Then you get to decide which territories for Éomer to defend. These missions are straightforward. Build up your camp, build an army, destroy the enemy's camp. You then fight a battle at Lothlorien.
What? I thought we were done with this.
Or the game crashes. Luckily this was the only time this ever happened. However, I had to replay Mines of Moria again, then do the Éomer missions again. So remember to save before doing a mission, just in case. The Fellowship and elf soldiers fight off goblin waves. It's easy, and it's over before you know it. The elves are interesting. They can be versatile, and can either be archers or switch to being infantry. There is also the ability to combine melee units with archers. This just means the infantry will stand in front of the archers and defend them. This is great, but once you do this, you can't separate them. Now back to doing a few more Éomer missions. Next main mission is the Battle of Amon Hen. You start off with Aragorn, Frodo, Sam, and Gandalf. Fight off some Uruk-hai and regroup with Legolas and Gimli. Then go save Boromir by killing Lurtz. Yeah, that's his name from the movie. Then fight one final giant wave with trolls. Then it's over. Straightforward mission and really easy. Then some more Éomer missions. There's not too much to say about them, it's more of the same. However, in this mission I got all my cavalry killed. Whoops. Some maps do mix it up and have an extra type of unit like extra spearmen or warg riders. Next main mission is freeing Merry and Pippin from the orcs. You get to control some Ents. Watch out for fire archers, but otherwise they are monsters at destroying infantry and structures. Plus they can throw rocks from a distance like siege units. Back to the adventures with Éomer. We ride! However, if you notice Gandalf shows up in one of these missions, it means the next mission will be Helm's Deep. So here we are at the Hornburg. You get some time to set up, produce archers, upgrade them, and send them into position. You get some extra elves, but you'll need to ride out and protect the refugees to get rewards. Then comes the siege. It started off easy until Gimli kept trying to run through my secret entrance. This got me distracted, which led to the wall getting destroyed, just like in the movie. I thought it was game over when this building got destroyed, but I got Éomer and Gandalf to clean up the map. Next main mission is attacking Isengard. This one feels like careful planning. You need to hurry and take out their production buildings before all the archers get fire arrows. You also get a limited number of Ents, so use them carefully. At least Saruman gets to die to the Ents, unlike in the movie. Destroy the dam to win. Then we meet up with Frodo and Sam, who helps Faramir take out some Mordor forces. This almost feels like a stealth mission because you can use the trees to hide your rangers, but it doesn't do much good. They also disable many of your powers, so you'll need to be extra careful. Slowly take out Mordor from range and use the Mumakil to kill enemies for you. Eventually building your own camp, then getting an army of archers into position to ambush the enemy, then finally taking out their camp. Now you can continue using your Rohan army to take over territories, or use your new Gondor army after fighting 2 battles, then go and defend Osgiliath. I will say it looked grim at the beginning. The trolls in particular were a problem in one-shotting my soldiers. I slowly began to grow my forces and was able to defend the bridges, before finally pushing to the other side. We then must go to Cirith Ungol and help Sam rescue Gondor soldiers? Then take out Shelob? And then grow an army to take Cirith Ungol? That's a big difference from the movie. Then we fight the battle for Minas Tirith. You start off with your Gondor forces and have Gandalf, Pippin, Boromir, and Faramir. Once again, you get time to prepare. Build your forces, upgrade them, then Mordor comes. I decided to do a cheesy strategy by having Gandalf ride out and destroy the catapults. The Nazgul tried to kill him, but Gandalf was too strong. Eventually, Grodd will destroy your gate. Hold off the enemy and eventually your Rohan army will arrive to help you push the enemy back. Then there will be one more wave of Mumakil, but after that it's easy for you to finish them off, especially when Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli arrive with the army of the dead. Now you can continue defending all the territories in Middle-earth to increase your command limit, resource gains, and power points. When you're ready, send an army to the Black Gate to begin the final battle. The best way to win is to get inside the Black Gate and spawn camp the enemy as they appear. If you wait for them to come out, you'll be easily overrun. I still got all my forces killed, but since I was able to hold them back long enough to let the timer finish, I was able to secure the easy win. Congratulations, you completed the good campaign. You once again get a map of Middle-earth, but this time Saruman does a voiceover.
The Dark Lord Sauron must reclaim the One Ring. With its power unleashed, he will dominate all of Middle-earth.
First mission is a tutorial about how to build and get a feel for creating infantry and crossbows. Saruman feels like Gandalf Light. He has his Force Push, but instead has a Fireball ability, a take control of enemies for a short time, and give free experience to friendly units. The Ents in this mission are really easy to kill. Just build up your army, then attack the Rohan army that comes to attack. Infantry should be weak against the cavalry forces, but they clearly made it so this would be easy to win.
The land has been stained with the blood of men.
Next mission is to attack Fangorn Forest. You fight some Ents and Elves. You don't have much space to work with, so it takes some time to build up a force. You now can upgrade your archers with fire arrows, which is important for killing Ents. This time they are tough to fight, especially when Treebeard shows up. At least Saruman has Fireball to help. Take out the Elf camp, then go destroy the Ent Moot. Now you can decide where to attack next. Right now it's only between 2 maps, so it's not much of a choice. After you do these 2 missions, you then go to Amon Hen to take control of Lurtz. A little strange that elves are here to help, and you kill Legolas? Well, spoiler alert, he shows up at Helm's Deep and Minas Tirith later in the game, so I guess it's more of he barely gets away. Then get to the top of the hill and fight Gimli. Then some Rohirrim show up and more elves to fight. I understand this is a big what if, and to make this campaign more fun, they need to have you fight armies. I do feel like they could have given you less forces and have you use Lurtz more carefully against the Fellowship. I mean, Lurtz has an ability to stop a hero from moving. Funny moment is Lurtz almost died to Merry. The mission ends with Frodo and Sam do make it away in the end. Now you can decide to use Saruman's army or Lurtz's army to take over some more territories. I will say this next mission had me worried. My army in Lurtz actually died, and I had Rohirrim reinforcements on the way. So I did the best I could. Once I was able to expand and get my units upgraded, I finally got a taste of siege equipment. It's pretty straightforward. get a battering ram, and send it to the gate. After a few smacks, it goes down. Another side note, the armies of evil seem to be slightly out of range of good archers. Your forces will just stand there and take range damage and won't do anything. I wish there was some kind of aggressive mode so your forces would at least return fire, or melee units will go and attack them unless I gave them a hold position command. Anyway, get into the castle and destroy all their structures to finish them off. Not much happened in this mission. I once again took over everything, maxed out my army, upgraded them, and then overwhelmed the enemy. The next mission is attacking J.R.R. This was a pretty fun siege level. You take 2 camps outside, and then grow your forces, then siege J.R.R. There is quite a force defending the castle. They do actually send out forces to attack you, but it's easy to defend. Using ballistas to destroy their towers, then rams to destroy the gate. Once the gate is down, just overwhelm them with your forces. Now you get 2 more territories to take. One of them has eagles to worry about. Then we head to Helm's Deep. I thought this would be a lot harder, but I just ran up the front gate and they opened it up, so some of my forces walked inside and started killing everyone. Gimli tried his best to defend the gate, but he decided to Leroy Jenkins. They did close the gate, so I had to get a ram up there to destroy it. Then made my way over to the wall and killed Legolas, Aragorn, Theoden, and Éowyn. I even won before their reinforcements arrived. I want to make it clear, I played on normal difficulty, so I would be interested in playing this on hard and see if it actually makes a difference. Of course, I at least had to set off a bomb. After that, now we go and take control of a Mordor force who's trying to gain the allegiance of the Haradrim. This was actually an interesting level. You can either keep sending your forces at them, and if you kill enough of them, you'll gain their allegiance, or send an expensive emissary to get them instantly. Just fighting the first camp, which didn't have any Mumakil, was a challenge. They 1 or 2 shot my units, which makes it tough to push to their base. However, you do get infantry for free, which makes it nice to be able to throw units at them and let your archers do the cleanup. Eventually I'm able to secure the first camp, then send an emissary to the second camp, which gives me Mumakil to send at the third and final camp. By this point I had a few trolls to help deal with the infantry. This was a fun level and probably my favorite. Would have been nice to have more unique missions like this. Next mission you have to do next is South Ithilien. You can just overwhelm Gondor with your forces. I barely spent time building up a base. This is when I figured Mordor was a swarm faction. Destroy the Forbidden Pool to win. Now you get some freedom. You can go back and use Saruman or Lurtz to continue taking over Rohan, or use your Mordor forces to take more of Gondor. I took over 2 territories in Rohan, then I had to attack Osgiliath. This was a tough mission that I also liked. You need to slowly but carefully take both sides of the city. Gondor loves to throw trebuchets at you. However, you do have catapults to match them. You can either use fireballs for attacking or throw bones to scare ground forces away. It's supposed to be dead bodies, but I'm wondering if that would have given this game a mature rating. Whatever. Once again, slowly grow your forces and destroy the enemy camps on your side of the river. Then grow a large force to push over the bridges to finish them off. I was surprised by the large cavalry force they had. That set me back quite a lot. You do get a Nazgul who's helpful at taking out those trebuchets and cavalry.
Sauron's warriors stand triumphant.
After that, you then go to Cirith Ungol to find Frodo and the Ring. This was another interesting level. You have the ability to make both Mordor and Isengard forces, but you can't build any resource structures, so every unit is important. The enemy will infinitely spawn forces and send them at you. Firstly, you need orcs to get eaten by Shelob, then she'll join you. Now you explore and take out Gondor's soldiers inside the cave. There are some orcs tangled in webs for you to free, but keep looking around and find Frodo and Sam. This was tough because you don't have a healing well to run back to and reinforce your army. The only thing you can do is upgrade your units to rank 2, then send them to a safe place and they will slowly reinforce their numbers. It took me over an hour to slowly push the enemy back and find Frodo and Sam. It was a constant back and forth battle with their upgraded units. The only way for me to get resources was the treasures scattered around, but I had a tough choice of should I upgrade my current forces or make more. I would say make mostly Isengard forces and upgrade them since Mordor can't be upgraded. Eventually you'll find Frodo hiding over here. I just sent Shelob in and kill Frodo and Sam easily. Now you get to decide wherever you want to go and whichever forces you want to use. Once I had my command point limit to 600, close to 3 times the resource gains, and got all my powers, I sent a force to Minas Tirith to win the campaign. When you get here, you get the Witch King and 2 Nazgul. This isn't too difficult of a final mission, although I had these awkward tower moments. I told them to attach to the walls so I could get forces up there, but I guess the trolls were so dumb they thought I meant I wanted the siege towers on top of the walls. You can make Grodd the battering ram, but just keep making an army and just send it at the enemy. Rohan will show up, but I let the Balrog deal with them as you saw at the beginning. The army of the dead comes, but they will expire quickly. Legolas, Gimli, and Aragorn try their best, but die. Destroy the last building and you win. In conclusion, The Lord of the Rings: The Battle for Middle-earth is still a great game. It feels unique compared to many other RTS games like Warcraft, StarCraft, and Age of Empires. It does well to stand on its own. The gameplay loop may seem simple: build up your base, build an army, and send them into battle. However, there is enough rock, paper, scissors micromanagement you need to worry about to keep you on your toes. You can easily watch your army die in a heartbeat, then scramble to hold the enemy back until you can get your army back up and running. All factions feel pretty well balanced and have their own strengths and weaknesses, so definitely check this game out by doing a Google search. It's most likely never going to be available to buy because of the licensing. But I did hear about a mod being developed called The Battle for Middle-earth Reforged. Go check it out. I'll have a link to their YouTube channel in the description. Hopefully it'll be a good remaster to this classic game, and not be like the Warcraft 3 Reforged. Next month is going to be another RTS. I don't know why, but I've just been in the mood this year to play RTS games. Hope to see you there. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe to help grow my channel, and comment below what you thought. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video.